Hey everybody, this is Kevin again. Well, are we finally going to see a Mideast peace deal? Well, supposedly this week we will. Um, First, I'm going to read a little bit of this article. This was from the other day from USA Today. There's some other publications out there too, and I just saw a video. I'm going to show you a video also from I-24 News, which is a pretty good channel out of Israel in English on YouTube that you can subscribe to, and you can get kind of the latest what's going on over in Israel from it. So let me read some of this article. President Donald Trump said Thursday that he will release his long-delayed Middle East peace plan before a surprise meeting next week with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his chief political rival Benjamin Gantz. All right. It's a great plan. It's a plan that really would work, Trump told reporters on Air Force One as he traveled to Florida. He said that the White House will release the secretive deal a little bit prior to the meeting with Netanyahu and Gantz in Washington. That unusual session set for Tuesday comes as Israel lurches toward a third election on March 2nd, which will pit Netanyahu's conservative-like Likud party against Gantz's more centrist blue and white party. Israeli voters have twice failed to give either faction a clear majority, leading to an unprecedented third showdown. Vice President Mike Pence first confirmed next week's visit during a trip to Jerusalem on Thursday. Pence made it clear that they were not initially planning to invite Gantz, the former head of Israel's military. President Trump asked me to extend an invitation to the Prime Minister Netanyahu to come to the White House next week to discuss regional issues, as well as the prospect of peace here in the Holy Land, Pence said. At the Prime Minister's suggestion, I also extended an invitation to Benny Gantz, the leader of the Blue and White Party, and he has accepted the invitation, the Vice President said. Trump expressed surprise that they both agreed to come to Washington so soon before the election. We have both candidates coming, unheard of, he said. Netanyahu has made his close relationship with the American president a centerpiece of his campaign, and Trump has made it clear he favors Netanyahu. Although Trump hasn't officially endorsed Netanyahu, he has made a series of policy pronouncements that seemed timed to boost the Israeli incumbent ahead of the two previous elections. Last spring, for example, Trump recognized Israel's sovereignty over the Golan Heights, a disputed territory. Trump's decision to reverse decades of U.S. policy. Previous American presidents labeled the territory occupied and declined to recognize Israel's annexation. Trump tasked his son-in-law and advisor Jared Kushner to craft the peace plan early in his presidency. Trump has touted the proposal as the deal of the century, but its rollout has been repeatedly delayed and its fate is bleak. If the White House does release the proposal next week, it may be viewed as yet another effort to help Netanyahu as he vies to hold on to power in Israel. Netanyahu faces charges of fraud and bribery. Trump touted the deal on Thursday, even as he conceded the Palestinians might not like it. We've spoken to them briefly, Trump said of the Palestinian leaders. They have a lot of incentives to do it. I'm sure they maybe will react negatively at first, but it's actually very positive for them. I'm going to stop right there. I had read also previous to this that the Palestinians probably already don't like this deal. I don't know what's in the deal yet, but he's saying there is incentives, so they might not be able to refuse it because of the incentives in the deal. We'll see what happens. They've rejected every deal that's ever been proposed by any president so far. It's been elusive, this peace deal. We will see. Now, I know that a lot of my brothers and sisters in Christ are very excited right now watching this happen. We've been waiting for this to happen for a while. It's been over 2 years. It seems like since it was first mentioned that it was going to happen, that they were going to work this deal out, and Jared Kushner's been working on it for a while, and they were going to roll it out, quite a while back. They were going to roll this thing out, and they didn't. They put it off. Why? Well, we had two elections there in Israel that turned out to be a stalemate between Benny Gantz and Benjamin Netanyahu. Now they're going to go for a third election. It's unheard of. But I guess President Trump wants to go ahead and roll this plan out even before that election. So with that, I'm going to show you this video from I-24 News, and I'll give you a link to that video in the description box as well. All right, here we go.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is heading to Washington, D.C. to the big unveiling of the much-anticipated Trump administration peace plan. But it is all happening amidst yet another third round of election in Israel. It is all getting very much political. Benjamin Netanyahu's main political rival, Benny Gantz, leader of the Blue and White Party, will also be in Washington, D.C., will also meet U.S. President Donald Trump, but a day before the big unveiling, and then will head back to Israel to kick off discussions in the Israeli parliament over Netanyahu's request for immunity from prosecution. Benjamin Netanyahu will be present, of course, at the White House this Tuesday. Again, the big unveiling of the plan. Let's take a quick listen to some of Netanyahu's remarks before taking off.
I'm going to Washington to stand next to an American president who is proposing a deal that I believe advances Israel's most vital interests. Over the last 3 years, I spoke countless times with President Trump, a huge friend of Israel, and his team about these vital security needs, about our security, about our justice. I will meet with President Trump tomorrow, and on Tuesday, together with him, we will make history.
Okay. So there you go. They do these quick little news broadcasts on I-24 News. It's really good if you want to keep track of what's going on, besides going on to Jerusalem Post or something like that. Anyway, just wanted to pass this along to all of you, and well, finally, maybe we'll see this Middle East, this peace deal, this deal of the century rolled out on Tuesday, and we'll see what happens. I don't know what to think about it at this point, because we've seen the Palestinians reject everything that's been proposed so far. I don't think Israel will have a problem with it at all. But the sticking point is always with the Palestinians, because they want everything. You know, they basically want Israel to no longer exist. They want to basically take what is Israel now and just call it Palestine. That's what they want. But they're not going to get it. They're going to have to compromise at some point, or not at all. So, brothers and sisters in Christ, just, keep looking up. I don't know what this means in the long term. I don't know if this means that we're that much closer to the rapture of the church. I don't know. Some people are very excited and they think that it is. But I've kind of learned to sort of temper my excitement a little bit now when it comes to things that we look at as being end time events, because we have gone on this long, and it's been so long in waiting and waiting and waiting for the rapture of the church. So to me, it's kind of like just going to wait and see. It's just like wait and see. I would love for it to be one of the indicators of how soon we go home. I would love for that to be the case. I'm just really not sure. But I wanted to pass this along to all of you anyway. And with that, we'll say God bless you all. Until next time.